So I'm standing there at the hospital emergency room trying to buy a candy bar from the vending machine, and it eats my quarter. I wanted to encourage the quarter out, so in a gentle yet playful manner, I whacked the side of the machine. I called the attendant. Yes?
Did you see Taylor on the news, Mr. Hardt?
You know how much you have to pay to get local satellite channels?
No.
Well, it's more than a candy bar.
It was cool to see somebody I knew on TV.
She looks so good on TV. I thought she was someone famous or something.
You know how much it costs to be famous?
More than a candy bar?
Nope. More than a candy bar. All right.
Taylor has a phone. It's in her backpack. I don't think we're allowed to have phones here at school, because if we are, I can have one here by lunchtime.
Taylor, you know about cell phones here at school.
I won't bring it anymore. Hello, yes, what? 12 cents a minute? No, I don't want to change my long-distance carrier.
Here at school or anywhere else, 12 cents a minute, long distance, plus roaming charges. I just can't afford those kind of rates. Yes?
Mr. Hardt, how are you? I mean, your neck is all bandaged up.
I'll tell you what, I'll be all better after I see the final bill from the emergency room.
Please tell us.
I'll be just fine. Thanks to Michael and Taylor, she reacted so fast that it didn't cause me many serious injuries.
So how long do you have to wear that neck brace?
I don't need this. You seem to have had quite a notable day yesterday. TV, saved your life, a new cell phone. What can you tell me about it?
So I was telling Samantha that, I was going to call her on, my phone, but my dad said the memory chip thing was, totally maxed out because everything I programmed onto it.
What about being on TV? Millions of viewers probably got to see you. Did you think about that?
Whoa, mass communication.
Sure. You kind of went from being underexposed in the world of communication to being very exposed.
What do you mean?
Let me put it this way. More people know who you are than ever.
More people have talked to me? I have a cell phone. I was on TV, and Nemanja gave me this medal.
What else? Who else called you, huh?
What?
What else happened that you liked?
Dad took us out for cheesy bagels at Professor Squabble's last night.
And who called you?
No one.
Who called just to say, hi?
Oh, you did.
Sorry. Right, that's why we're best friends.
Taylor, tomorrow, I'd like you to produce our live radio show. Can you base it on your nonverbal communication experience and what happened yesterday?
I get to do the live radio show like we did at the beginning of the year?
Right. Keep it simple. Can you get it together by tomorrow?
Can I have people help me?
Whatever you want. Let me know what you need.
Talk to me. Do I have any old clothes for charity? Oh, honey, everybody wants something from Taylor these days.
So, you have a cell phone?
Do you get to call your friends?
She called me. Yeah. Do you get to call your friends?
I've pre-programmed numbers into this auto dialer thingy.
Like who's number 1 in your phone? Namanja. When my dad gets me a cell phone, my phone number is going to be 555 KELI Kelly. Casey and I are going to have a party after school. Can you please help us decide who to invite?
Sure.
I'm not going to her party. She's nobody.
What makes you guys so special or different or better?
I'm Kelly. Taylor's gonna be there and Namanja. And if Namanja's there, other boys will be there too. I'm there. I'm so there.
A free makeover? Sure. Where's your office? Pittsburgh? Pennsylvania? I'm in Illinois. You'll send a limo? You saw me on TV? Thanks. I do have a cute nose.
We caught her just in time, before she got so popular that we're nobodies.
When did you and I decide that we were having a party?
Well, we didn't yet, but please?
I'll have to ask. What do you mean we're nobodies?
Remember the party I had last fall? Nobody came.
I came.
Well,
It was the same night as the fall dance.
if everybody sees Taylor with me, I mean us, then everybody will want to come. Boys too.
Okay, bye. A guy is coming all the way from Pennsylvania to give me a makeover.
Taylor's life got so complicated that day that she had to hire a personal assistant to screen all of her calls and set up her calendar. She chose a girl named Dominique. Not only was Dominique the most organized person in the class, but she had a special way of communicating when phone salespeople called. Besides that, Taylor felt she needed a bodyguard at school. A boy named Kyle was her first and only choice. Kyle had a very personal way of looking you right in the eye that made people respect him. That afternoon, Mr. Hardt asked for volunteers to be in Taylor's nonverbal communication radio show. There was such a huge response that names had to be drawn out of a hat. Plus Taylor, 7 other people were chosen to create the radio show. It was decided that they would meet at Taylor's house after school. Well, Taylor had that makeover, and the man had to come all the way from Pennsylvania in order to meet the celebrity that saved her teacher from choking. Meanwhile, Taylor was getting very used to her new popularity and her new cell phone.
And they should meet her in about 10 minutes. Ellie, such a good doggy. I have something for you to wear.
Hey, Taylor, would you remember to keep the bathroom door closed? Your mother and I are trying to train Ellie not to drink out of the, well, you know.
Dad, when everybody comes, please don't tell any jokes. Especially the dog in the fire truck one.
Okay, sweetie pie, don't worry. It'll be okay. Come on, Ellie. Come on, Ellie. Yes, yes, there you are. Yes.
I picked up your signal. She's in the house now. My calculator says she's moving quickly from room to room. Interesting behavior. What does this mean? We'll analyze it later. She just stepped in a very small room. She's only 1.5 feet off the floor. Unusual. She's drinking. She's drinking out of the... Fascinating. The radio show people are arriving. Let's try and get inside.
Welcome. Set your materials down and we can pursue our work right here.
I have been instructed by Miss Barnes to give you these jobs. job assignments. She feels that this will lend itself to the best possible radio show.
All I want to know is, can I work the sound effects? Like before.
Did you read your job description?
Not yet.
I suggest you look at it.
Fairy princess? I ain't play no fairy princess.
I beg you to reconsider.
Neil and I found a radio play.
Yeah, it uses nonverbal sounds and music.
I beg you to reconsider that idea too.
Miss Barnes will not be taking any more ideas for today. You are simply here to learn.
Hey kids, I want you to keep in mind that this is radio. There aren't too many ways to communicate without seeing it. You'll have to describe what's happening. Hi, boys.
Good idea, Father.
Father? Taylor, I'm going to go let Ellie out. Father?
Taylor, you talk.
Yeah, what Dominic is saying doesn't even sound like you. Didn't I tell you how honored you are to be here today? Well, you are!
I'm getting a reading. Somehow she got outside right now. She is running across the lawn. She's quite the runner. Oh, she's stopping and she's... Oh my! Look, you guys, I wanted this to be a radio show that has information about nonverbal communication. But now...
Is this the way we really want to be? Somebody please answer that phone.
Taylor Co. Incorporated, this is Taylor. How may I help you?
No one will come to my party. Can you please come? If people know you're there, they'll come. Please.
You sound so desperate, Samantha.
Remember, it's tomorrow after school.
I'll have to check my calendar with my personal assistant.
That's it. I'm not doing this.
Me either. Well, I'm not gonna wrestle Mr. Fairy Princess here.
That's just about as good as it got that night. Tempers flared and not too much got accomplished. Later, after everyone left, Taylor began to think about what went wrong. As she played it all back in her head, she decided that everyone should have just been told to go home right away.
Go home now!
That night, Taylor dreamed. Now, awake, she was very confident of her skills as a communicator. Asleep, her subconscious told her a different story. Right now is the time for the tribal council. Now this is going to be a very tough choice for all of you. You're going to have to vote off one of your members in a few seconds. It may be tough, but you'll have to do it. Vote off. 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 Vote off.
Taylor.
Wolf.
Taylor.
What? No! Help! Anybody help! Oh no.
Vote off. Vote off. Your tribe has spoken.
Oh no.
No karma, communication failing. Dreams have a way of warning you about things to come.
We had a unique situation the other day. As you remember, I was choking, and one of my students was able to understand my nonverbal message and get me help. She understood me because she has been exposed to nonverbal cues all of her life. Today, Taylor has agreed to produce our live radio show all about nonverbal communication with a little help from her classmates.
You guys, I am so sorry about after school at my house. You deserve to be confused or angry at me. I don't blame you. I'll try to do my best out there in a minute.
We figured something was wrong. We went to my house after we left yours. We researched this nonverbal stuff on the internet. I think we have it.
Where's David? Is he sick?
Yes, I'm taking his place. I know all the lines. Why are you here?
I'm playing like your wife.
Goodness.
What about your bodyguard and personal assistant?
That was my first mistake yesterday. I fired them. They're gone.
Let's go. You guys are on. Come on.
Isn't this exciting? In 10 seconds we'll be going on live, and you will all be the studio audience. Wait, stand by. In 5, 4, 3, 2, cue music.
And now, KRTV Radio presents Nonverbal Communication Station.
With your hostess, Taylor Barnes. And now, here she is.
Hi, everybody. I'm Taylor.
Did you get that? Of course not, because this is radio. But what just happened was all the performers up here just communicated to each other without speaking or hearing. We took nonverbal cues from each other. A few days ago, I was pretty good at this, but...
But nothing. Right now, we take you back to 1910.
I'm Thomas Edison. By the time I was middle-aged, I had lost most of my hearing. Being deaf helped me concentrate on my inventing. But as a boy, there was only one invention that impressed me: Samuel Morse's telegraph. It was a device that tapped out electrical signals and sent them down a wire from train station to train station in code.
And I'm Mrs. Edison. I like how to put up with him.
It sounded something like this. This was the first nonverbal communication device in the new age of technology.
Hello, I'm Alexander Graham Bell, and I invented this device by accident while trying to help the hearing impaired. I call it the telephone.
But Mr. Bell, you can't talk about that today. We're here to talk about nonverbal communication only.
But what is nonverbal communication, Mr. Edison?
You see, Mr. Bell, it's any way to send a message without speaking. Like, for example, body language.
I can tell in which the way you're slouchy that you're not very interested, Mr. Bell. No, yes,
And you, Mr. Edison. Your arms are folded and you have the biggest frown on your face I've ever seen. I gather you're very frustrated with Mr. Bell here.
Actually, you're right. How'd you know all that?
Body language, it's just a nonverbal part of communication.
Oh, hello there.
And who are you?
Who am I, Mr. Edison? I can tell by your raised eyebrows that you don't recognize me. I am Mary Ann Mackenzie from the Boston Mackenzies.
So,
I'm here to ask you a question. When you think about the holiday seasons at home, do certain smells and aromas come to mind?
my wife bakes the very best cinnamon rolls and freshest spice cakes. It's like I can smell them right now.
Like I'm such a good cook.
Mr. Bell? Well, every holiday season we burn freshly cut pine in our fireplace. It fills the whole house with the aroma of freshly scented pine.
If you smelled that pine right now, what would come to mind?
Oh, well, the holidays with my family.
Same for me. Hey, how'd you do that?
Aromas are one of the strongest senses we have, gentlemen. A smell can recall people, events, and emotions from many years ago.
Aromas are nonverbal cues, too.
I get it, Miss Mackenzie.
Gentlemen, listen to this.
It's music.
Ah, yes, soothing. I invented the phonograph. This is one of the first songs we recorded. It reminds me of the pier at my Fort Myers estate. Seagulls and a warm breeze.
See, that song triggered a soothing memory for you, Mr. Edison.
It also reminds me of...
Decaying fish smell. Precisely.
So nonverbal communication happens all the time. Did you know that in a survey of adults showed that people respond better to nonverbal communication than being spoken to? It's true. We just don't think about it.
When you hear someone laugh, it can make a tense situation comfortable.
When you hear someone cry, it triggers a helpless or helpful response.
When an animal growls at you, or someone shakes a fist at you, that could mean danger.
Flashing eyes.
Flared nostrils. Eyebrows down.
So nonverbal communication can be body language, facial, using your senses to recall aromas or feel music. Is that about it?
I'm afraid we haven't even gotten started, Mr. Edison.
And finally, if you ever see someone grabbing their throat, take it from me. It's just possible that they might be choking.
Thank you, Mr. Bell.
My pleasure, Mr. Edison.
And for all the great people here at Nonverbal Communication Station who really put this together today, for KRTV Radio, I am Taylor Barnes.
And we're clear.
So Taylor, tell me what you've learned.
Can't learn something, really learn something, until it's happening to you, you know, in a personal way. assistant or bodyguard without a person to assist or protect. You can't be a good teacher unless you lay off the candy. You can't be a 5th grade girl unless you have some crisis to amplify every day. You can't be a good scientist unless you learn from your mistakes. You can't have a party if nobody else wants to come. Hey, everybody! Party at Samantha's tonight!
Thank you, Taylor. Thank you.
And not everybody's the same. But mostly, you can't be a daughter. Well, a good one. Until you understand that your parents do the things they do for you, not to you.
You can't be a father until you're able to share your own children's pain.